Hello, YouTube. It's Tuesday night, January 24th, 2023, and straight up 9 p.m. Yeah, I'm heading out to work late. This time around, I've actually. Oh, glad I caught that in a hurry. That was the Eagles. The YouTube algorithm catches the Eagles. They block me. In fact, I think that's a song that I've previously had a video blocked over. So good thing I recognize songs really fast. Kind of makes me wish I could get on that show with Chris Rock, the one where you try to beat Shazam, because sometimes I can. Ah, nice. Change stations, found the Lovin' Spoonful. Love the Lovin' Spoonful. I just gotta indulge in this. Lately, the music on the radio has been such crap. And this feels good. So I don't feel like I'm any closer to finding the mounting bracket that I bought to put an aftermarket stereo in this car, and I know it's in my apartment somewhere, and my apartment's so awful, you know, and it seems like I don't even know how many months ago that I was so excited to finally get Priscilla the hell out of my apartment, and I had kind of been bold enough to roll in with the camera and show just what an absolute mess it was. And I was kind of gung-ho about, hey, I'm going to transform this and make it a wonderful place and chronicle it on this YouTube channel. And yeah, add that to the long list of things in my life. It's been a miserable failure. In fact, I think I forget exactly when it is that I managed to get Priscilla out. It seems like it was September-ish, and you know, now it's a whole nother year, and I made some improvements right after I got her out. Yeah, the place is dramatically worse than it was then. As to whether or not it's worse than when I got Priscilla out, it's debatable. I'd say it's marginally better now than it was then, although I think my bedroom has gone downhill since then. So, Anyway, that is what it is. I keep saying I'm going to do something about it, but it's really hard to find the motivation. So what's up with me heading to work at like after 9 p.m. or not leaving my place till exactly 9 p.m. Interestingly enough, it's not me oversleeping. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. I woke up without my alarm a good solid maybe 15 minutes before it would have gone off. I think my first alarm goes off at 5:30 p.m. and I woke up at about 5:15. And the shitty thing about that is I don't think I made it to sleep until after 2 in the afternoon. So of course I'm realizing, oh shit, you know what, I'm tired. I was tired when I woke up, and I'm thinking, damn, less than 3 hours sleep. Yeah, this is not good. I need to get more sleep, and I probably need to put in for some PTO and just kind of ballpark when I'm going to wake back up. You know, set some alarms to wake up later, go into work later, but already put in the PTO for it. That's something I used to do, and I've really stopped doing it. And I used to pretty consistently make that work. Granted, it's been well over 6 months since I've done that. Later, it's just more recently, it's just worked out better for me retroactively to just to deal with it retroactively. When I'm just too tired to wake up, or I wake up and it's like, yeah, I'm not well rested enough to go in and be operating the forklift. I'll say nothing of the drive there. I'll just roll over and go back to sleep. I figure I'll wake up whenever the hell I wake up. That's when I'll know I'm adequately rested, and I'll just go in and deal with it afterwards, and figure out how much PTO I want to put on it. Generally speaking, I put PTO for whatever uneven portion of an hour there is, so I don't lose an hour of UPT for less than an hour of being late. And generally that works out for me, but I've been just struggling so much to wake up on time. Recently, and then I've had a couple of times where I've kind of missed the deadline to retroactively apply the PTO, and consequently lost full hour of UPT for less than an hour of being late. Anyway, it's resulted in me. I actually, when I checked on my, I want to say my lunch break, but it was actually, I didn't have a lunch break yesterday. I showed up in the middle of lunch break. That's how late I was to work yesterday. It's Annie's song by John Denver. This is the good stuff.
Like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm.
Back when the Zen Lunatics used to do a live band karaoke thing called Rockaroke down at the brain slip down at the Yucca Tap Room. This is probably like 14, 15 years ago. I used to love to sing this song on stage with them, and it was the band loved to put me in for this one too, because basically I would have a guitarist and a bassist, and the drummer would get to take a break and go grab a drink grab drinks for everybody. But I don't feel like singing right now, but I don't sound like John Denver, but I do a damn good job of singing this song when I'm in the right mindset for it. And then of course having oh my God, Terry, and I forget the other guitarist's name. It's terrible. But yeah, having those guys back me up. Couldn't ask for a couple of better backing musicians while I sing Annie's song. Anyway, lost my train of thought from John Denver. What the hell was I saying? Oh, so yeah, I didn't really have a lunch break yesterday. The only break I had yesterday, which I was in a really shitty mood during my break, and maybe I'll get into explaining that, but probably not. Yeah, dust in my AM. really, really upset me yesterday over something really trivial and stupid. I can't believe I got that upset over a pecking pin. And I put him on blast on the VOA board over it too. Not by name, but lately on the Amazon FC subreddit, there's been a lot of pictures of people putting people on blast by name anonymously on the VOA board, which is specifically against the rules of the VOA board. So something that conceivably they would give HR a reason to look up who the anonymous poster was. No, I went the complete other direction. I just simply said my AM or an AM, an AM after doing something in stand-up, and but I didn't post it anonymously, so it's going to hit the VOA board with my name and my picture. So people are going to know who the hell it was, and the people who matter know who my AM is. The people who are at that stand-up know who that AM is. At AM, I'm sure they'll hear about it. And it's a stupid thing, and I guess I am going to talk about it. And the packing pins are nothing that important, really. But I only have one. I mean, I've been at Amazon over a year. I have one packing pin. It's just kind of like bling rear safety vest. Now, I did have somebody give me another one. It wasn't even a manager, it was just a coworker that felt like sharing the wealth because he had two matching ones. And somehow I managed to lose that one before making it out the building. Maybe it's buried in my bag. Maybe it's in the pocket or something when I changed clothes and left it in my pocket. I'm not sure. But I for the moment, it's lost. And I don't even know what the hell the new Pecky pen was that Dustin had. All I know is, damn it, I wanted one. And he said at the stand-up after lunch that he was going to be giving it away at the next break. They'd be in front of the main break rooms giving them away. At which point I'm like, well, why don't you just give them to us now? Like, we're here at stand-up. Like, and the main reason I asked that, and I didn't say that, the main reason I asked that is I don't go to that break room during my 15-minute break. Not usually. Not unless I need to buy something. If I've already got drinks, beverages, whatever in my bag, I put that bag in the refrigerator at either the north or the south break room, which are the little itty bitty break rooms where they never do these swag giveaways at. And I'm not trying to waste my 15. I'm not trying to waste 8+ minutes of my 15-minute break walking to and from one of the far away break rooms. I'm going to the nearest one, grabbing my stuff, microwaving whatever I'm microwaving, and eating, and trying to make the most of that time off my feet, eating, checking messages on my phones. But he's like, oh no, I'm giving it away then. I'm like, well, a little disgruntled. He didn't just give them away to the people who wanted them there at the break, but okay, whatever, that's fine. I'll buy it. I'll go to the break room. So as soon as that break came up, I hear the voice. I heard the disembodied voice over the PA saying it's time for break. I finished the whatever operation I'm presently doing with my forklift. Park it, shut it off. Put the cone in front of the fork so everything's proper safety protocol. Grab my bag and start walking directly to that break room, which, mind you, is not the break room where my food is. So I'm still going to have to backtrack from wherever that break room is, farther, a farther different distance, because it's in the opposite direction to the other break room to get my food before I can microwave it and eat. And of course, then by the time I get the stuff microwaved, this break's going to be damn near over, which is frustrating, but whatever. I want the goddamn pecking pen. It's, I want to say, 3 minutes after the start of break. So the break is at 3:15, so it's like 3:18. I get there. Dude had a bag of 50 pens. And right as I walk up, I'm like, you really? You're out of pens? I didn't even get a chance to ask for one. I saw the empty bag in his hand. I said, really, you're out of pens? And he starts to making excuses as to why he doesn't have a pen for me. Like, I had expressed that I wanted one at the stand-up meeting. He could have given me one at the stand-up meeting, especially since, as my manager, he should be aware I don't go to that break room. He should be aware of that, you'd think. But no, he starts making excuses. I just flashed him a look of death. Like, if looks could kill, my death rays out of my eyes would have just incinerated him. As I'm thinking to myself, holy fuck, I wish your dad would have worn a condom 22 years ago. That's what I'm thinking. And I just walked off. He's given excuses as to why, he doesn't have a pen. He had a bag of 50 of them. There may be 18 people at stand-up, if that. Had a bag of 50, which I know was a bag of 50 because in his excuses as I was walking away from him, I'm not even going to waste my time listening to your bullshit, dude. Just turned away and walked off. I'm on my time at this point. I don't have to listen to this bullshit. I'm on break. Yeah. So I'm walking in the. But I heard him say blah blah blah. Bag of 50 pens, like he was so incredulous that they were all given away. It's like, fucking asshole. And I went away my food, and as I was sitting eating, I left a short but sweet and to the, well, not sweet, pretty fucking curt and bitter. Message on the VOA board about it. So, curious if there'll be any mention of it today. Almost, but not quite. Getting that light. Anyway, I said I wasn't going to talk about it. It's up being almost all I talk about the whole drive. Go me. It's a stupid little thing, but I was having a really shitty night over another issue with a coworker. And I'm sure he didn't do it to me deliberately, but it made a lot of extra work for me, and it really upset me. I genuinely don't have time to explain that. But yeah, it put me in a horrifically foul mood, especially when I mentioned it to him and how nonchalant he was about it. And I mean, coming into work, 5 hours late because I overslept, and just shitty my fucking life in general has been lately. Like, yeah, I'm it's like work bringing you down. I'm like, I was down when I got here. I need work to bring me up because I ain't got much farther down to go, man. Because that's what I told the coworker who asked me how I was feeling. Yeah, I by the end of the shift, I was just like, fuck, I'm ready to just kill somebody with this forklift, because then I can be locked up in a prison cell in solitary confinement, because I've been there, done that for extended periods of time, and I was a lot happier then than I've been most of the time lately. Hey, didn't have to worry about laundry, didn't have to worry about expenses, didn't have to worry about rent, didn't have to worry about food. All that shit brought right to me. And nobody fucked with me because I was on solitary lockdown. Good at keeping myself on solitary lockdown. I like being alone. As long as I got reading material, I'm good. Anyway, yeah, kind of curious to see if he'll say anything to me about it today. Anyway, so I was talking about my PTO, my VTO, or not VTO. I'm sorry, my PTO and my paid time off and my volunteer, or what do you call it, my unpaid time. So on that break, after I got done blasting Dustin for being such a dick about the Pecky pens and so completely not looking out for me on a day where I really could have used something simple like a Pecky pen to brighten my mood. I checked my schedule to see where I was with UPT, and I was negative UPT. I don't know, not by a lot, like 22 minutes or whatever, but whatever, negative UPT, they fire people for that. So, yeah, not wanting to get fired right now. Now, granted, I'm sitting on over at the time I was sitting on over 20 hours of PTO. I'm just not trying to use my PTO for that. You know, if I got the money to pay my bills otherwise, and I feel like I do. So anyway, now I did have the day before where I'd shown up 44 minutes late due to forgetting my safety vest, where I was able to I went ahead and covered that, so that recovered an hour of UPT. So, and of course it takes a while for that to refresh and everything. So when I got home and I checked that, as I was in the process of packing up that 8-track to ship, 8-track that I finally had an eBay order, an 8-track that I shipped this morning. I did check that, and it had taken effect. Yeah, I don't want to go straight ahead. That is the toking section. Yeah, the my brain just slipped into neutral again. I'm trying to focus on finding a parking spot. You know, and it's not even about not wanting to walk that far. It's about my memory has issues, as I'm sure y'all have realized by now. And if I don't consistently park in the same area, I will struggle greatly to find my car. So, and that's not a pleasant experience. Meanwhile, this guy is struggling to figure out how to maneuver his car into a parking spot, it looks like. All the money to buy it, but he doesn't have the skill to drive it. And that's not how you're supposed to do it, dude. You're supposed to just turn right into it and then stop and park your car like this. Come on now. Anyway, so yeah, I checked it. I've got about 33 minutes of UPT, which gives me no leeway for being late. So when I woke up a little bit early without not nearly enough sleep, I was just like, oh shit. If I'm as much as 6 minutes late, I'm going into negative UPT. Like, I better just put some PTO, and so I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, if I go back to sleep now, like, how much sleep am I going to need? What time do I need to wake up? So I put in PTO to cover me until 10 p.m. And set my alarm clock I set an alarm for like 9 p.m. and one for 9:10, and I think I set one for like 9:08 and maybe 9:12, something like that. Anyway, set 3 alarms all shortly after 9 p.m. I figured that'd be enough time to get up, jump into my clothes, grab something for food to eat at work, and head to work. At least by that time of night, you know, as we've seen, there's no traffic to deal with. It's a nice straight shot down the 202, down the 10. You know, the downside of doing that is it just doesn't always work out for me. I couldn't get back to sleep. I laid down, couldn't get back to sleep. Like, just the process of redoing those alarms and putting in the PTO, like, had I just rolled over and went back to sleep, I'm sure I could have got back to sleep just fine, positive. But waking myself up enough to put in the PTO, use the A to Z app, do that whole routine, which is a little tedious. It's not difficult, but it's a pain in the ass. And then reset my alarms so they wouldn't be waking me up in a half hour. Wouldn't start, waking me up in, like, I don't know, I guess 15 minutes away from alarms going off. By the time I got that done, like, I was all of like 2 minutes away from my first alarm going off. Had I not done that, I'm sure I could have rolled over and went right back to sleep. I'm sure I could have. But after making all that much effort, like that woke me up to the point I couldn't get back to sleep. So I laid there, tired. Edited myself another chapter of my vlog and started that uploading to YouTube, because God knows now I'm like the most behind I've ever been. And that's largely due to the fact that I went like a full week of just being too depressed to even fuck with it. Yeah, I don't even think I'm done uploading all the videos from Friday the 13th right now. I might have one more from that date. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, it's another chunk of Friday the 13th. That was an epic day in the history of this vlog, for sure. But hey, at least I'm glad I'm getting comments of people that were amused by the security guard at West Town. I feel bad for that guy. I really do. I can't admit, like, in fact, I was watching a video, I don't know, something, just one of those videos about, you know, how the economy is, or no, it was one of Kayla's videos about planning, you know, financial planning, and he's mostly the people that he does his financial audits of are people in their 20s, and somebody had commented that it'd be interesting if he did a financial audit of somebody who's old, and somehow somebody who's old got more specifically, people started talking about somebody in their 70s, which is like, I'm glad it didn't turn into a topic of discussion of people in their 50s, because I would have really felt called out at that point. But talking about people in their 70s, and you know, and people having to basically work until they die of old age, because they don't have any kind of retirement or money put away from the future. And that's kind of where I'm sitting right now, more or less. And because at this point, you know, Social Security gives you enough money to live in the park in a tent. I mean, you know, there's a disturbing amount. Yeah, I mean, granted, most of the homeless people that you see in encampments are junkies, but there is a small percentage of that are elderly with no savings, no pension, no nothing, no family support, that are living on Social Security. And what they get from Social Security is enough for them to eat while they're homeless. It's a pretty fucked up situation, and you know, and I could go into a huge political debate. Is it the government's job to provide retirement for people? No, it's really not. But it's you know, it's kind of scary to be in my 50s with, you know, no kind of retirement savings, no kind of pension, no kind of nothing. You know, and just I can't rewind to being 22 years old and 24 years old, whatever, and start, you know, I don't get a do-over on this. So anyway, so the discussion in the comment thread got to people talking about people in their 70s and whatnot. And then, you know, people talking to other people, commenting, you know, how sad it was that they see people, you know, that are in their 70s working. And then somebody responded to that person's comment with oh yeah, but working in your 70s is a good thing because it keeps keeps people healthy. And there's definitely something to that. I mean, yeah, you know, some people, when they have absolutely nothing to get up for, just waste away and die. It is what it is, you know. So to that end, yeah, having a job is good. Physical activity, you know, when you're elderly is good. There's nobody's denying that. And my response to him was something along the lines of, yeah, that's, you know, when you're in your 70s and you're working because you love what you do. And you know, you're doing it for something that you enjoy, that's great. But if you're in your 70s and you're working because the alternative is homelessness, that's kind of sad. And then I mentioned the security guard at West Town. There's no way that guy enjoys that job. There's no way that guy is working that job because that's something pleasant for him. I mean, watching that video back, when I was telling the guy, it's like, hey, you should be home, with your wife and your grandkids. Like, I watched that back, and that look on his face was just like, I don't know, maybe it's just in my head, but it looked like he was dying inside when I was spitting facts at that point. And I'm not trying to, feel really guilty if the guy went home and just ended himself because he realized what a miserable existence he had, because God knows I struggle with that day in and day out. But finishing my tea. Anyway, on that note, I need to get my ass in, get to work. So I've put in, had I done my usual of just, oh shit, I'm overslept, whatever, and I'd just come into work, and in fact, had I not done all that stuff, I would have just come into work and been here on time at 7 o'clock, because it became clear I wasn't getting back to sleep, and I haven't been back to sleep. I did try to make the most of the time. I went to Costco, tried to deal with that certificate that I was supposed to be getting, and the customer service said that that's through their credit card, which is actually not. They don't manage the credit card. That credit card is. God, you think I would know who does it off the top of my head, but Visa. I don't see. I think it's through Citibank. It doesn't look like it says it on the card. Anyway, he says I'd have to deal with them, call them on the phone, or use their app. I've never used their app. Anyway, that was a little disappointing, but is what it is. And I did find an email. The email says that the one email I found says that it expired on December 31st, but I could have sworn I got emails about it in January. So, although searching through my inbox, I couldn't freaking find it. So I don't know. It'd be suck if I lost it. It was about $60 worth of, like a $60 voucher for Costco. So, and I spent about $70 at Costco tonight. So it would have been really nice to only spend $10 versus, $70. But hey, at least I had time to do a little Costco shopping and whatnot. So now I'm in an interesting position that I've never been in before. So I've already put in PTO until 10 o'clock. So the system's expecting me to clock in at 10 o'clock. But it's 9:33. And I'm curious what will happen if I just go in and clock in. Will it let me? Will it not even let me in the building? Because, I had the one time I came back, this was many months ago, where I'd left my phone charger here, and I tried to come in on my day off just to pick up my phone charger, because I'd left it over in dock 339, I think, or maybe 335, and I couldn't even get in the building because I wasn't scheduled for a shift. So, I don't know. I'm only 30 minutes before my shift, so less than 30 minutes. So I'm sure I'll get in the building, but I'm curious what's going to happen if I clock in. I'm really curious. I wonder if it's going to try to take, I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen. But there's one thing I've learned. It's easy to just oh, didn't realize couldn't do that, and just act stupid and ask for forgiveness. I don't see it as something that's going to get me fired. And generally speaking, coming in, warm bodies in this building is something they appreciate. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to find out. So maybe I'll be able to report on that later. I don't know. I'm going to clock in early and see what happens with that. But and then once I do it, I'll know. Everything's all automated here. That's something that's going to be handled by an algorithm, not a person. I did find out. I haven't tried it myself, but my friend Ariel told me about this as we were on our way out the building yesterday. That it's possible to use UPT by the minute if you ask for it in advance through the app, as opposed to just letting it manually take it from not showing up. I used to use UPT through the app until I found out that it was just taken automatically, and I think that was before the whole thing of doing it by the hour. It used to always be it would take it by the minute, but he said it's possible to use it if you do it in advance in the app and you request for it in the app like you would use your PTO. That you can do it by the minute. And he mentioned that somebody that he knows, he said her name, I don't know who she is, said that she's been using it on a regular basis to go home early every day. She goes home early like 30 minutes every day. And that's interesting. Might have to try that one of these days. Although for the most part, I'm about staying as late as I can and getting paid. On that note, I'm going to go in, get paid. Got some food here. I'm in a whole lot better mood than I was yesterday, even though I know I'm going to burn out at some point because I am not well rested, but I feel pretty wide awake right now. It does feel good that I got to Costco and got some shopping done. In fact, while I'm at it, we'll take a couple of cans of Coke out of this multi-pack, put them in my bag, go in the fridge. I got a case of Coke, got a case of water, and a case of Arizona green tea. I actually was talking to one of the gals that was one of the dudes that was operating a pallet jack there, moving a pallet of Diet Pepsi. I asked him, he's like, hey, how come you guys never have Mountain Dew? And he goes, oh, we don't carry Mountain Dew here. So that's really weird considering you guys are carrying Pepsi and Diet Pepsi. It's usually sort of the same thing. He goes, yeah, I don't know why that is, but we don't ever have Mountain Dew here. So last time I mentioned it to somebody that worked there, he said, oh yeah, it just kind of comes and goes. We have what we have. But I don't recall ever seeing Mountain Dew there, and I really wish they did because, yeah, I like Mountain Dew. But whatever. I got some Coca-Cola Classic. That's something. Certainly should save me some money because I spend I buy way too many sodas, here at the vending for $1.25 for a 20-ounce bottle or 80 cents for a 12-ounce can, and certainly the less I do that, the farther my money will go towards trying to pay off all my debt. So anyway, thanks for coming with me, listening to my rambling, and now to see what happens when I clock in earlier than the amount of time that I've asked for paid time off. What I think would be really awesome, what I'm hoping happens is it'll let me clock in and get paid for the time I clocked in and pay me for the it's like double dip on that hour, get paid for the hour, get paid the PTO, you know what I'm saying? Like double dip, get paid for that 30 minutes as PTO, and because it's paid time off, and get paid for working that half hour. It's possible. Seems like I read something in the Amazon FC subreddit about somebody doing something like that, or being told they could do something like that. But as I recall, that had to do with it being the end of the year in a state where people aren't allowed to carry their PTO over. Which, interestingly enough, Arizona has a state law that requires that all PTO from the previous year has to be transferable to the next year. So, oh, and I mentioned there was an issue with mine disappearing right at the beginning of the year, by the way, and it did. It came back like the next day. So apparently that's just how Amazon does it. So anyway, I got to get inside. Thanks for coming on the journey.